could have taken place around the Waisedong Falls, because the body was recovered from a gorge like this below, which is very, very deep, very hostile terrain, and drones had to be used to locate the body which was below, and then of course it was recovered, and that's what led to the beginning of the murder investigation. However, the police say that the trek, etc., also could have been a pretext that the culprits who planned this murder used, and therefore the body, of course, was found here near the Waisedong Falls from a deep gorge in very hostile terrain, making it difficult for the body to be found and giving the accused precious time to plan their escape after committing the crime.
And here are the unanswered 10 questions that I have listed, because these are questions in my mind, and I'm sure these are questions in yours as well tonight. The most basic question that we have to ask: did Sonam get her husband of just a few days, Raja, killed? Was it she who actually got him killed? Was she directly involved, or did she orchestrate it? Question number 2, if she did, what was Sonam's real motive? And I'll get into the theories in just a moment, but what was the real motive if indeed she was the person who ordered the killing? Number 3, was Sonam unable to avoid marrying Raja for any reason? Because many people are wondering, why murder someone if you could have simply avoided getting into that marriage in the first place? Number 4, where was Sonam for those 18 days from the 23rd of May till the 9th of June, when she was discovered in Uttar Pradesh, over 1,000 kilometers away from the crime scene in Meghalaya? Question number 5, who was Sonam in touch with for those 18 days? Her mobile phone was switched off. Her family says that she was had been abducted. Is that really true? Was Sonam's brother aware of this alleged crime? That's question number 6. Is he hiding something? Number 7, was this entire abduction theory a family ploy? Could they also be involved? We can only ask these questions. We are not casting any aspersions, because this is still an investigation. Number 8, where are all the jewels and valuables that both Sonam and Raja was said to be carrying? Remember, 3 more persons said to be hired killers have also been arrested, but these jewels are nowhere to be found. Number 9, will the police raise the heat on Sonam's family as well? And finally, number 10, how many more accomplices could there be in Raja's murder? Sonam is in custody, 3 hired killers are also in custody, but are there more people who could be involved, and more than actually meets the eye? Let's go straight across now to NDTV's Saurabh Gupta, who's live with us from the crime spot in Meghalaya, among the first reporters to reach there. And remember, NDTV, the only network broadcasting, anchoring, reporting live from the ground in Meghalaya. Saurabh, these questions I've asked are undoubtedly questions that most viewers tracking this story have on their minds as well. Today is a crucial night because Sonam will be arriving in Meghalaya, taken to the crime scene for what is said to be a crucial part of the investigation. Are we any clearer, Saurabh, about any of those questions that I've just asked?
Well, obviously the police say, and some of these questions have been posed to them, they say that, look, this is an ongoing investigation. Let's question her. Let's figure out some of the things. And Shiv, those questions you mentioned, those are questions that the police have also mentioned to us, that there are these answers that we need to. One of the important things is, what was the motive? Like you mentioned, couldn't she have just avoided marriage instead of murdering him, if that was indeed what happened? But in all of this, I must say that this evening, the people of Sohra, they showed great spirit, I must say, because they were themselves very worried. Like you said, bookings cancelled. This is a state that welcomes tourists for years. And they were very shocked to learn that something had happened here, like this, so brutal, so horrific.
Yeah.
But they were relieved when they knew that this was not something that one of their own had done. And they held a prayer meeting, a candlelight vigil, to pray for the departed soul, because they say that this, like you said, is Meghalaya, the abode of the clouds, and something like this is shocking to them. So they said if someone's lost their lives in such a horrific manner, we can only pray for the departed soul.
So, Saurabh, we'll get to the cancelled bookings, etc. in just a moment. I want to focus just for the moment on the investigation itself, and the investigation-related questions that we're raising. Sonam, we saw those pictures. We'll put them on our screens of her completely shrouded, being brought on a flight. She's going to be arriving later tonight in Meghalaya, not too far from where you are in Cherrapunji, in the mountains. What is the police likely to be doing today? Are they going to take her to the crime spot? It's already late in the night by the time she arrives. What is the plan?
Well, unlikely that it'll happen straight away when she arrives, but it's likely to happen soon is what we've been given to understand. They have custody. There are some technical issues about custody. They have transit remand, but whether they do it after producing her in a local court and getting proper custody for a longer period so that they can continue an uninterrupted investigation, or whether they do it before actually producing her in court before the transit remand, these are questions that the police themselves are still figuring out. We don't have clarity on. But there is absolutely a plan to bring her to the spot, because one of the things that's still not clear is where exactly was this man murdered. There were multiple places that they went to. They know that between this point and this point, he was still seen on CCTV cameras, and then at one point he wasn't. So where was he exactly murdered? These are very important questions that the police will still have to explain, like you asked on the show. These are really important questions that the police are still looking for answers to, but we are given to understand that most of these questions will be answered once they have proper custody in terms of interrogation, and also bring her to the crime scene to figure out the exact spot from where they murdered him and how they dumped the body in that gorge. I went to that site. It's impossible to relocate a body from a gorge so deep you can't even see the bottom of the gorge. It's a 90-degree cliff. So absolutely really horrific crime, and that's why it took so time to locate the body, so much of time. In fact, the SDRF, NDRF, there were mountaineers, local mountaineers who got involved. It included rappelling to go down those slopes and recover that body that was lodged deep inside the foliage in that gorge below.
Saurabh, for a crime story of this kind, when you actually arrive at the scene over there, you get to know a lot more, because, usually people are reluctant to talk on camera. You do pick up chatter, from locals. You attended that candlelight vigil as well. I want to ask you, from what you're hearing, from the whispers and murmurs, about two key questions that seem to be occupying a lot of people right now, which is that Sonam was missing for 18 days. It's, in this day and age, it's very difficult to simply fall off the map and disappear. You can switch off your phone, but it's not difficult to track. It's much more difficult in Meghalaya. But let's remember that Sonam managed to be completely off the map, out of contact for 18 days. That's almost 3 weeks. That's an incredible amount of time, to be invisible, unreachable, uncontactable. Do the people in the local areas where you've been reporting from today and where you are right now, do they have any theories about where she was, where Sonam was all that time?
Well, the belief is that she would have left the state, and with the intention of misleading the police into believing that she herself may have perished in a fall or something like that. Because I went to the spot also where they had left the scooty that they had hired, the abandoned two-wheeler, which they had hired from Shillong and driven down all the way up to Sohra. And what people told us there was that, look, this is not a route that regular trekkers take. There are fewer trekkers who use this route, very seasoned people. There's usually another route. So this isolated route that has much fewer people using it, going down to that double route bridge, is something that was clearly premeditated. Now, the other thing is that the police we've been talking to say that, look, initially, when they started searching for Raja and Sonam, they believed that both were dead. But that CCTV footage, which came, at some point into their custody, they saw that Sonam was seen with a group of men.
Yeah.
And they were tracking the CCTV footage. And that's when they realized, well, Raja is missing, Sonam is still on CCTV, so she must be around. And that's when the manhunt for her started.
Yeah. Final question then, Saurabh, before I let you go, because it is dark there and there are other things to look at right now before Sonam actually arrives where you are. Do the locals believe that Sonam's family knew about her whereabouts or were in some way accomplices to whatever may have actually played out? Now, we are not going to sit in judgment here on NDTV. We never jump the gun in an investigation of this kind. We know that there are family, friends and people involved. It is for courts and the police to finally decide who has done what. But the question to ask is, do the locals believe that the family may have known more than they are letting on right now? Because even the brother was the one who had reached there and had floated this entire abduction theory, which has completely fallen apart.
Absolutely. And you know what, one of the things that we spoke to, the people, the locals we spoke to, they say that, look, we were helping them to try and locate the bodies. We were absolutely horrified that somebody had gone missing. And then when Raja Raghuvanshi's body was found, we were absolutely horrified that a horrific crime like this had taken place in the vicinity of where we live, I beg your pardon, and where so many tourists arrive every day. Tourists are the backbone of the economy, so the locals were really worried. So they were really invested in that search. And when that theory was floated, they, to some extent, believed it. But when it comes to the question of whether the brother, the family were in touch with Sonam or not, we posed that question to the police as well. Off the record, they say that they're looking at the evidence they have. It isn't possible, like you said, for somebody to stay under the radar for so long without having been in touch with someone at some point. So whether they were in touch or not is something that is still in a very crucial initial stage of investigation, where the police are saying that let us just get the evidence in place to make that statement before the media.
And in just a short while from now, you're going to have the mother of Raja live with the NDTV's Maria Shakil. That's coming up at 8:30. Don't miss that. It's a live conversation, not recorded, where some very important questions are going to be asked, because perhaps the light is not being shined enough on what the family's role could possibly be in this entire lurid saga. Saurabh, stay safe. Thanks very much for being with me here on India Matters. I also have with me live now B.L. Vora, very respected veteran IPS officer. Mr. Vora, thanks for being with me here on NDTV. Very quick first question to you, sir. As you assess what has been coming out right now, it seems to be very clear that the investigation is reaching a crucial stage. Can you give us your reading of where you think it is actually headed? Is it possible to, make a conclusion at this stage, sir?
Theoretically, Shiv, definitely conclusion is almost visible to me, but yet, till the evidence is there, it will be termed only as a theory. It's a pre-planned murder. This girl had planned in advance, and she had hired the contract killers. Otherwise, why should people go all the way from Indore there to kill this fellow? And she had told her hubby to take all the valuables also along. These are what all these things are saying.
Yeah.
And then she was missing from there. Lot of theories. First, of course, let me also compliment the police. They have worked it out. Thanks to Meghalaya police and UP police. They have done a good job. And I think there's a lot of electronic evidence also now available. I'm sure that sooner or later police will charge sheet it, but they have to ensure that it's a foolproof case and that it gets convicted.
What does your instinct, Mr. Vora, what does your instinct as an investigator and as someone who has investigated crimes of great complexity during your career, what does your instinct tell you about the family itself? Sonam's family. Could they have been in the picture in some way? And I need to put a disclaimer that we still don't know about guilt or innocence of Sonam herself. But from everything we know so far, the brother landing up in Meghalaya and floating this whole abduction theory, the possibility that he may have been in touch with his sister, that the family may have been in the know. What does that tell you, sir?
I don't think Shiv family is involved. Otherwise, why should they spend tons of money on the wedding? Tell me. There was no point really. If they knew that their girl was involved somewhere, and I don't think these days you can force the girls to marry someone at this age. I mean, talking of only the theories, the conjecture based on whatever evidence we have. I don't think family is involved in
No, I
this.
mean after the crime, sir. I mean after the crime.
After the crime also, I don't think.
Okay.
Brother, it's a normal human mistake. See, a brother goes all the way to
Yeah,
Meghalaya.
that's true.
Why should he go there? And if the body of the person, the man, has been found out and not that of the girl, anyone would think that she has been abducted. And if she's injured, then she should be in a hospital somewhere. So I think, if you to ask my mind, only the theory, the conjecture, but the experience tells me that family is not involved.
Innocent,
But
yeah.
so far, so good. But you never know. Nobody had thought of it that a girl would get her husband married within a few days of her marriage. I mean, it is also one of the things which rarely happen.
Yeah.
These things have happened. I've seen in police career, but it is rather unusual. So I think it's, as I said in the beginning, it's a pre-planned murder. Police is on way, doing a good job. They'll be able to soon collect evidence and they'll charge sheet it. That's what my hope.
So, Mr. Vora,
yeah.
then in that case, finally, the motive for the killing itself, what circumstances may have led to this elaborate ploy, if at all, seem to stand out as the two simplest questions that remain unanswered at this time. But someone like you who has dealt with cases like this, may see greater missing pieces of this jigsaw puzzle. Could you throw some light on that? What appears to be the missing pieces and the unanswered questions to you in this, sir?
Again, a conjecture, Shiv, but she would have been involved with somebody else. She knew that family will not approve of it. And that is why she did. Planned with that guy itself, who will now, of course, roam free, maybe, And this is the guy, because for a girl to hire contract killers and all, whatever you may say. So definitely, I think whosoever that person is, whether he's one of the killers or somebody else, that is my guess only. So she must have been involved with somebody else. And that is why she went to the extent of planning this murder. It's a cold-blooded murder. It's not. See, many murders take place at the spur of the moment, as you know. They take place in anger. It is definitely not that.
Yeah.
So I think she deserves, if it is proved, she deserves the highest punishment, I think.
So Sonam is in custody, Mr. Vora. Final question to you. The three alleged hired killers have also been arrested. There is reason to believe, that some people may be absconding and they will also be arrested. All the, boxes are being ticked as far as the investigation and the procedure is concerned. And I agree with you that the Meghalaya police, has done an important job at a time when there had been a lot of misinformation and fake news about this case, especially during those 18 days when Sonam Raghuvanshi was actually missing. But are we now at a crucial stage in the investigation, Mr. Vora, where there could be some finality, or given the crime spot, the geographic distance, covered by the main suspect, etc., means that some questions may never actually be answered? Or do you think that there will be a clear-cut finality in this investigation?
There will be a clear-cut finality, Shiv. It may take a little time because a lot of evidence has to be collected from other states also for Meghalaya police. But I think it's a case which is a very strong case, foolproof case. And as I said in the beginning, unless the police watches up the investigation, I think there's no way the culprits can get out of this net now. I think they are firmly in the net. It's a matter of time. Now she'll be produced in the court, then the police will take a police remand. Then, of course, they'll take her to the scene of crime. All those steps will be gone through, and all forensic science data. And now electronic evidence being admissible in court of law, I'm sure that will be convicted also soon. Shiv.
B.L. Vora, thank you very much. Interesting and important to get insight into this evolving story from someone who has actually been there conducting investigations and overseeing complicated investigations of this kind. It does help us decode and understand the story just a little bit better. So I appreciate that, Mr. Vora, for joining us here on India Matters. I assure all of our viewers on NDTV, a crime story is something we take very, very seriously, and that's why you will get facts and not fake news in our continuing coverage of the lurid honeymoon murder in Meghalaya. We're taking a very quick break. Thanks very much for watching. Maria comes up next, and she has the mother of the dead husband of Sonam-Raja live with her. The big questions on that after this.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand.
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
News is not just headlines, it is what impacts you. And news should never be mistaken for noise. What matters is the reality. Accurate, in-depth, and with the right perspective. For over 20 years, I have been a journalist, and never has clarity mattered more than now. At Newsnight, we go beyond the surface. We dissect the details, challenge the narratives, and bring you the unparalleled clarity you deserve in a world clouded by misinformation. We are bold, we are direct. Newsnight, for the news in your interest. Only on NDTV 24/7.
After 2 years of the India-Canada tensions, it's the big relationship reboot. Indian Prime Minister heads to the G7 summit. Indispensable India on the global stage. Modi's multilateral momentum. NDTV live from the G7 summit in Canada.
If it matters to you, if it matters to you, if it matters to you, it matters to India. It matters to India. It matters to India. And it matters to me. And it matters to me.
India Matters with Shivaru. Only on NDTV 24/7.
Why was there a hurry? Was it the government that was in a hurry?
I don't want to blame anyone.
Joining us today here in the NDTV newsroom.
Government cannot walk away from this responsibility.
Cricket is region of sort in this country.
Would you like to comment on what happened?
What is the condition of the injured at this point? How many people died?
What exactly happened? You have lost your daughter.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
This is the last word, and I'm Maria Shakil. Accused of murdering her husband, Sonam Raghuvanshi's story has been splashed across headlines, dissected in talk shows, and debated in social media forums. But amidst the cacophony of opinions, one must ask, has Sonam been declared guilty before her trial has even begun? As a woman, Sonam faces a unique set of challenges. The media frenzy surrounding her case has painted her as a villain, a cold-blooded murderer without the due process of law. I've covered several crime stories, from Shraddha Walker, gruesome murder of 2022, to Saurabh Rajput, who was killed by his wife Muskan Rastogi. Such cases of intimate partner violence show a disturbing pattern. So let me raise a few questions for you on the show tonight. Did Sonam tell her parents about her relationship with Raj Kushwaha? Was the marriage with Raj under pressure from her parents? Did Sonam, in fact, feel too tied down by societal norms that she did not have the courage to withstand her family pressure? Was Sonam trapped or perhaps blackmailed by her lover, Raj Kushwaha? Is there a larger conspiracy against Sonam? Is there a possibility? One may ask, because the circumstantial evidence and all the evidence gathered so far are strongly stacked against Sonam. Think about it, viewers, because we are seeing this happen regularly. Crimes of passion being reported from B towns of India, and women being too bogged or suffocated to not being able to run away from a situation either. In the court of public opinion, Sonam has been stripped of her dignity. The narrative has been shaped by sensationalism. The presumption of innocence, a cornerstone of our legal system, has been overshadowed by the rush of judgment. The question remains, can Sonam receive a fair trial when the scales of justice have already been tipped against her? There are many unanswered questions. And on the show tonight, I'll be looking at 6 shades of Sonam Raghuvanshi. We'll be also joined by Uma Raghuvanshi, who is Raja Raghuvanshi's mother, in just a bit. But first up, a quick update.
Meghalaya police has got its suspects in the most high-profile case it has handled in recent times. The killing of indoors Raja Raghuvanshi in East Khasi Hills. It took them 7 days to crack the case after Raja's decomposed dead body was found on June 2nd. The cops codenamed a probe into the case Operation Honeymoon.
See, from the day the body was found, just in last mila tha, so we had the case was registered and SIT was formed. We had named this Operation Honeymoon. Though 5 to 6 members were there in the SIT, but the core members, I mean, we have the whole group for investigation where all the boys were there. There was about 15 to 20 boys actually involved in this investigation. Hundreds and hundreds of homestays out here. Profiling all these people which match that and all that. Then technical analysis. Everything pieced together. That's how, we came about and zeroed down on the culprits. Yeah.
The task ahead for Meghalaya police is to make a watertight case, given the fact that there has been outrage in the state over the negative portrayal of the state and its people during the days Sonam was missing in mainstream and social media. But now people in Meghalaya also want justice for Raja.
A couple came on their own और ये 3 आदमी बाद में आया था. 21st को 21 मई को आए थे. 3 आदमी. पहला ये लोग गुवाहाटी में था. Then after that they stayed in Nongriat. And from there, from Nongriat, then they came up together and फिर ये कांड किया था. From what we've come to know that yes, she went to Indore, but we'll confirm that.
The probe ahead will involve presenting Sonam and other suspects in local court, interrogation and cross-examination of all the key characters to join the dots. Crime scene recreation will be an important part of the probe. Meghalaya police will try to fast-track the probe to file the charge sheet quickly. With Mukesh Singh Sengar and Ratnadeep Chaudhary, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And some piece of breaking news that is coming in now. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in fact, hosted members of the various delegations who went to various countries at his residence, 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, and delegation members talked about their meetings in different countries. The delegations consisting of MPs from various parties, former MPs and distinguished diplomats had highlighted India's stand against terror and India's commitment to world peace during their visits to various nations. So these visuals certainly important. Prime Minister Modi there with Ghulam Nabi Azad, former Congress leader. Let me go back to our debate tonight and bring in the guests now. Dr. Shailendra Srivastav is former DGP of Madhya Pradesh. Princess Giri Rashid is East Mojo Meghalaya correspondent who has been covering this case extensively. We have Arpit Chauhan, who is the cousin brother of Raja Raghuvanshi, joining us. We also have Professor Jayanti Datta, criminal psychologist, and Amber Zaidi is a social activist. I'm going to begin with you. Okay. Let me begin with Giri Rashid now. Giri, tell us about the larger sense which is playing out in Meghalaya, in the sense that as a reporter on the ground, do you get this sense that this entire evidence, circumstantial evidence, of course, right now, and what is being gathered is all against Sonam, or is there some kind of narrative building which is also happening?
Thank you so much, Maria, for having me on the show. Firstly, I would like to begin that if you look at all the evidence and when you look at the unplanned trip to Meghalaya, that itself has a lot of question. And also a very huge question that arises here is, as you've already seen the CCTV footage of the couple when they had arrived at the Manha Hotel in Sora, there itself, as a local, you would question why would one take a route that is secluded, that is from Maulakiat? Because any tourist, if the hotel was there just ahead of the junction and the junction that leads to the very famous route, double-decker living route bridge to the place called Tirna, that is the village that most people would take, unless if you're adventurous and unless if you're somebody who wants to, very adventurous. That's what I want to say. So the hotel was just ahead of that junction, which would go ahead to Tirna. However, they crossed that and went, unless if they're following their Google Maps. But that already questions that that was pre-planned. And earlier today, when I had spoken to Vivek's aim, I had questioned that did Sonam, was she already here in Shillong? Did she ever visit the state before? So he said that there is a possibility, and they're still yet to confirm that, however. But if she had already visited the state, then she must have been well aware of where the places that are abandoned. So talk about like the one at Shipara homestay when they had come trekked back up, and locals had seen that she was there along with the other 3 people, the 3 assailants who were walking with Raja. And when they left from Maulakiat, while they were heading, they had taken the diversion, which is towards the viewpoint, and the crime was committed out there. So there are lots of things that point out that, directs or gives an indication that this was very much pre-planned. And she had very much...
So, Rashid, you're essentially saying that there is a possibility that she may have visited Shillong and visited this particular spot earlier before bringing her husband to the scene of crime, and then, allegedly the crime actually taking place. Let me bring in Arpit Chauhan. Arpit, सोनम की जब लास्ट बार उमा रघुवंशी से बात हुई थी तो उन्होंने क्या क्या बताया था उनको, और उस कॉल के बारे में एम्फेसिस इसलिए दिया जा रहा है क्योंकि शायद उस कॉल में उन्होंने इंडिकेट किया था कि कुछ हुआ है.
ऐसा इंडिकेट नहीं किया था कुछ.
हाँ, तो क्या बोला था?
वो सब हैप्पी थे, ठीक थे.
जी 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 मैं आपका नेटवर्क ठीक करके फिर से वापस आऊंगी आपके पास, बट बिफोर दैट डॉक्टर शैलेंद्र श्रीवास्तव, you know, the crimes of this nature, there is a clear indication that she has been pronounced guilty much before the trial has begun, and this entire case appears to be similar to what we have seen play out in Meerut a year ago. But the larger question is, shouldn't we wait for the real motive, because there is a possibility that Sonam herself could have been trapped or blackmailed by the by this person with whom she had relationship, that is Raj Kushwaha.
Look, this is a very complex case, and I tell you that Indore people have got a lot of vibrancy and civic awareness, and Chief Minister also holds home portfolio and is the in charge minister of Indore. So there was a lot of hue and cry in Indore. Chief Minister responded well in time, and he assured people of Madhya Pradesh that wherever they go, they should be secure, they should be safe. He spoke to, I believe what I have read from the newspapers, that he spoke to Union Home Minister also for the safety and security of the couple, and he wanted CBI inquiry also. Indore is a very vibrant city. They mounted a lot of pressure on the police. So there was a lot of hue and cry all over Madhya Pradesh. And then Meghalaya also. Meghalaya is known for tourism. And the government of Meghalaya has started responsible tourism mission for sustainable and community-based tourism. It is known for its stunning natural beauty, caves, heritage, everything, abode of clouds. So all these things, they are associated with Meghalaya. They bothered about their sanctity. It's a tourist destination, so they want to. So everybody got charged. So there was seamless cooperation and coordination between Madhya Pradesh and Meghalaya. And this has resulted into what we are seeing today. Whatever narratives are being made or sent through the, I would say, social media or electronic media or print media, what matters is the case diary. What DGP Meghalaya has said, he has only given few points of investigation. Investigation cannot be shared in public. Evidence cannot be shared in public. But I'm sure, being a police officer, I have served for 35 years.